When federal authorities bring a criminal charge against somebody, it's very hard for that person to contemplate, what am I going to do? The initial reaction is I didn't do it, or they can't prove it, or other people might be saying that you're not going to get convicted. There's no way a judge is going to sentence you to prison. I didn't understand that at the start of my journey, and as a result, I made really bad decisions. I did plead not guilty, even though I knew I was guilty. And the bad decisions that I made led to a very lengthy sentence. I was incarcerated for 26 years. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people making those same decisions. Instead of thinking about how can I position myself for the best possible outcome, people think about what can I do, or try to pretend that what I did not happen. And I exposed myself to something much, much worse. In fact, I was looking at a press release today from Miami that showed a nurse practitioner who just received a 20-year sentence. Her name is Elizabeth Hernandez. She's 45 years old, so still a relatively young woman. And she was a nurse practitioner, which is a really important position in the healthcare arena. She made a jury convicted her of making some bad decisions, and a judge sentenced her to the statutory maximum sentence of 20 years. Had she understood a little bit more about mitigation strategies, she may have chosen a different path. Maybe she had the same kind of bad lawyering that I had that told me there's a big difference between an indictment and a conviction. I know that in the federal system, there's not a big difference. When federal authorities bring a criminal case against somebody, an indictment against somebody, a sentencing hearing is typically going to follow. And that's why we've created this information on our website that teaches people about mitigation strategies. People should be looking at the federal sentencing guideline tables. They should learn how do the guidelines work. They should learn in what ways can I mitigate this crime so that I'm not facing 20 years in federal prison. My work is to try and change the system and to advocate for federal work release programs and stronger use of home confinement, and creating courses that will help people in prison emerge more successfully. But none of this work is about me. This is about you. If you're a member of our community or you are looking at our content, it's sad, but there's a good chance you're facing significant challenges. We just want to make sure you know what's coming and you know what you can be doing today to sow seeds for a better outcome in the weeks, months, years, and decades ahead. As somebody who's gone through 20 years, 26 years in federal prison, I know how difficult it is. And I also know that any individual can make decisions early that might influence what they become. Unfortunately, I didn't get that information until it was much later in the process, after I had gone to trial, after a jury convicted me. Had I gotten that information very early, I would have saved a fortune in legal fees. I would have saved a lot of mental health complications and the challenge of going into the prison system with a multiple decade sentence, when better decisions earlier may have completely helped me to avoid time in prison or get a significantly lower sentence. Again, this isn't about me. This isn't about anybody in our company. This is about you. What are you doing to position yourself for the best possible outcome? Start asking those kinds of questions today, and I think that you'll be on the path toward engineering your own mitigation strategy. Thanks so much for being a part of our community.